Hi, it's that guy Adam again. Father in Parkland, single dad, walking around town, feeling the after effect of what's going on here, the during effect of what's going on here. People asking me to make another video. The last one went viral. I want to thank everybody. The ones that hated me, the ones that told me to leave the town, the ones that loved me, the ones that I thank you for taking 8 minutes of your time and watching it and letting me know you were listening. Some people ask me to just make another video, so I'm going to try. I don't make videos. That was my first. This is my second. If it's good and you like it, let me know. If you don't want to ever hear from me again, let me know so I can go back to my day job and feed my kids. I want to tell you a story. A couple of years ago, when I was married, I was out with another couple. We were outside a diner. We had just eaten. We're full. It's dark. And this kid, a kid that looked just like Nick, and I swear to you on my children's eyes, this is 100% true story. This kid that looked just like Nick, a scrawny, messy, out of place kid, comes up to us and he asked my wife, my then wife, if he could borrow the phone. I remember looking at him going, kid, if you try and steal this phone from my wife, I will run you down. He said, no, I'm lost. I'm supposed to go stay at a friend's house. I'm from Palm Beach. So we lent him the phone, and the friend said, you can't stay here. This kid was a misfit. I could see it. So I said, well, what's your plan, kid? And he says, well, I'm going to go over to the train station. It leaves at 7 a.m. It was 10 o'clock at night, right in Coral Springs. And I said, 7 a.m.? What are you going to do? He says, I'll be all right. I said, you got any money? He says, no, not really. I got enough. I got like $3. I said, how much is a train ticket? He says, it's $4. So I gave him $1. And my wife looks at me like this. And I reached into my pocket and I gave him $100. I don't have it like that anymore. I got crushed. I mentioned I got divorced. But I gave him $100. And then I gave him $5. And I said, look, take the 100, stick it all the way down in your pants. Take the 5, and if anybody asks you how much money you have 5. Good luck. And my wife looked at me like this. You know, like the look like you don't want to be married to me anymore. And I looked at her like this. No, I'm tired. And she looked at me like this. And I looked at the kid and I said, I'll give you a ride to Palm Beach. And I grabbed my friend Gary, who was out, another couple was out to dinner with us. And we started driving him home. Had a nice car back then, a Cayenne, a Porsche. Put the kid in the back seat and started driving to Palm Beach. And I'm on the turnpike, and my friend Gary, who's a better father than I am and a great, great guy, turns around and says, you play sports? And he said, I like football. He says, play football. Concentrate on that. Whatever you do, stay in school and play football. It's good advice, but not for this kid. And I looked at Gary and I said, you think that's good advice for this kid? And he goes, yeah, that's good advice. I said, Gary, you're college educated. Your parents paid for it. You had a good life. You're having a good life. That's not advice. So he looks at me and he says, what's the advice you would give him? I said, well, considering I left home at his age, 16, with a pool stick, and I was him. I was starving and down to 105 pounds. You feel free to ask any of my friends from Oceanside. They know. I turned around to him and I said, kid, here's the advice you need. 1 hour ago, if I would have told you you'd have $100 in your pocket, you're sitting in the back of a $100,000 car being valeted or being chauffeured up to Palm Beach, you wouldn't believe me. This is the facts. Just because things are really bad doesn't mean 5 seconds from now they're going to be really good. We cannot tell the future. We're not gifted like that. And just because things are going really good doesn't mean 1 second from now things are really bad. Can't tell the future. Things were good in Parkland. We were the #1 safest place in the country. 2 seconds later, the whole world is talking about us like these what's going on here. And I can tell you personally, you can't describe what's going on here. You can only feel it. You have to come here and feel it. There are happy people crying in the streets. There are children trying to survive in our hospitals. You know what's really funny? There are children trying to survive in your hospitals. There are people crying in your streets. Some of them are crying for us. Some of them are crying because their lives suck. But it doesn't have to suck. It's not going to suck. Can't tell the future. Could win the lottery. Could whatever. I don't know. So here's where I'm trying to get to. That kid, I don't even remember his name. That kid was my Nick. Maybe he was so far, believe me, when we finally dropped him off, I said he was better off on the streets. He lived on the back of a farm in some screened out trailer that I had to go down a dirt road to get to. So his life wasn't getting too much better. If you're watching this, I'd love to hear from you and help you again if I can, or at least find out you're okay. But my point is that in your town is that kid. In my town was that kid. And we didn't help him. We didn't get to him. We forgot about him. We pushed him into cracks. We ostracized him. The system failed us. We fell through the cracks somehow. How could an entire town fall through the cracks? I have to tell you, I'm an egotistical guy. I shouldn't be. I got nothing going for me. I'm losing my hair and whatever. But I got a big ego and I can talk a big game and whatever. And I'm a total asshole. But I was born with a really big heart. Everybody that knows me says that. Well, he's kind of an asshole, but he's got a real heart. If a guy like me feels guilty that he didn't get to Nick, then go look around your town and find him. He's there, I promise you. And it's not that you're going to find a kid that's so far down the crack that he's going to take up arms and go shoot children. That doesn't happen every day, thank God. He's going to hurt himself. Maybe. He didn't give himself his life. He's not allowed to take his life. And if you can understand that, he didn't give other people their lives, and he's not allowed to take their lives either. People on my site now, thousands of comments, and it keeps coming down to gun control and mental health. You're missing the mark, my friends. That's not what it comes down to. If you are noble enough to pick up a gun, a rifle, a weapon, and say, I am defending my constitutional rights, then be noble enough to put your gun down for a little while and walk around your town and find that kid, find that guy. If you are strong enough after what happened to march to Washington, and all you people are strong enough to march to Washington, then be strong enough to put that argument down, because it's not a winning argument. You cannot win this argument. It doesn't even need to be fought. People have guns. Deal with it. That's our country. We're not Norway. We're America. We have guns. And we have people that need help. We have people in hospitals. Look, I'm all for cancer research. Cancer research is important, but it's fortunately not Adam's battle. Adam's battle is, how am I going to pay my damn Visa card? And what I realized while I'm so busy trying to pay my damn Visa card is that the battle's at my doorstep in the form of people that need help. They don't need Visa cards. They need somebody to listen to them. Are you listening? I don't want to be a TV evangelist. I could use the money they make, but I don't want to be them. But my point is this: nobody was listening. Nobody was looking. And right now, somebody is in your town that needs to be heard, needs to be hugged. And you can fight that battle, but it's the hardest battle, because you got to let go of your ego. You got to let go of all this bullshit that we have. Let me tell you about what we're doing. Right now, we look like a big blob of rock. We look like this ugly boulder sitting in the middle of Florida. We have no shape. We have no form. We're strong. We love each other. We care about each other. But we're hurting, and we look like this big, ugly blob. But Michelangelo looked at a rock. He was a painter. And he looked at a big, ugly blob of marble, and he started working on it, and next thing you know, there was an angel in it. And people come to him, and they say, I don't understand. You're a painter. How did you turn that rock into a sculpture? And he said, no, 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 no. I looked at the sculpture and I saw the angel. I just took away all the clutter until you could see the angel. I got 14 angels. The problem is God is supposed to make angels, not disturb children, not disturb people holding AR-15s. And you know what? I don't want to talk about guns. It's bullshit. But I got to tell you, these AR-15s attract psychopaths. There's no denying it that the style of that gun, for whatever reason, turns on a psychopath and turns them into a maniacal shooter or whatever the words are. So you have your right to your gun, but you don't have a right to Amalite. And you don't have a right to create a weapon that excites psychopaths. You and I both know, and anybody that knows about guns, that there's far better guns, better performing guns. I mean, let that one go. Stop making it already. Get rid of it. Crush it. Put them all in a pile and crush them. Be noble. Put down your fight and pick up the fight you can win. Because you don't want to be this town today. You don't want to be the parents that I can't face. Because I feel bad that I could go have a bagel today and they have to have bagels while they're sitting shiver or praying, and you don't want that. And it's so easy to prevent. Stop being egotistical. Stop going after your Rolex. Stop trying to be Kim Kardashian. Go find the one that anybody can buy a cup of coffee for their friend. Anybody. Don't be anybody. Be somebody. Buy a cup of coffee for somebody that just disgusts you. And listen to them and find out what the hell is going on. Find somebody that needs to be heard. You know, every time you guys grab your guns, the left goes, these guys are going to start a revolution. And every time you guys, you other people, put on your pink hats, the gun people grab their guns and say, this is it. This is the revolution. We don't need a revolution. We need evolution. And if all these things going on, kids killing themselves and people killing each other, and if that's not enough to evolve us into human beings, I don't want to be on the left. I don't want to be on the right. Fuck those sides. That's somebody else's battle. It's like cancer research. Let them fight that. You fight right in your own town and fight for your own town. There is no me. There's no I. You want to find I? I put it right here. Here it is. Here's I. It's right here in the middle of the a-hole. It's we. We are Americans. You don't have a body. You have a soul. Your soul has a body. And it's next to all the rest of the souls. And some of the souls you don't really like. But don't let that soul turn into an angel. And don't let that soul turn your baby into an angel. Somebody needs help in your town. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. Somebody needs your help. Pretend it's Christmas. I'm not even Catholic. Pretend it's Christmas and celebrate today. Bring a blanket to somebody that's cold or a Coke to somebody that's fucking hot. And help them and let them see a little bit of light. And tell them, look, things get bad, things get good. It doesn't always have to be that way. You can't tell the future. Evolve. I don't know if anybody's listening. But if you are listening, no more revolution. We don't need a revolution. America's already great. He doesn't have to make it great again. We have to be great again. Not America. America's great. We need to evolve. We're responsible. I'm responsible for what happened in my town. And if I can own that, you can own it. I want to say that this other guy, I don't even know his name, this big guy who talks into the camera, he's pretty scary. I wouldn't mess with him. But he just came out with a video about ratting out that person, that you're a snowflake. And I'm like, why are you insulting snowflakes? Liberals are important. They keep balance to the conservatives. Conservatives are important. They keep balance to the liberals. Stop insulting each other. You guys are actually proving that the Constitution works. But he says, you're a snowflake, offensive, not offending somebody isn't worth my daughter's life. He's kind of right, except for one thing. Don't rat the guy out. Help the guy out. What have we become? It's like this crazy joke about a guy goes to God and says, why would you allow this violence in my schools? And God looks at you and he says, I was going to ask you the same exact question. I gave you free will. Do whatever you're going to do. Take that free will and turn it into positive. Turn it into helping that one guy. Don't have to help everybody. You don't have to give away your life. You don't have to turn into foundations. Here, I'll give you a great example. In my very town, or up in Boca, a great couple with a great son. Minding his own business, he got knifed. He didn't get gunned, he got knifed. And they lost their child. And boy, that's horrible. Who wants to lose a child at a shopping mall one day? But instead of turning into anger and turning into knife control or gun control or crime control or this control or that control, you know what they did? They took all the money that people were giving them because people loved them, and they made a foundation that gives away shoes. Just shoes. They're not curing cancer. They're not curing gun control. But they looked around their town and they said, while everybody's curing cancer and lupus and God knows what other diseases are out there, our children need shoes. And let me tell you, if you've ever walked anywhere, and I'm pretty sure most of you have, if your feet hurt, your day sucks. And if your day sucks, it's only getting worse. But if you got comfy shoes, maybe your day starts out all right. So they looked at a small crack and they filled it completely. They give away hundreds of it. It's in Jacob's shoes. They are the most outstanding, wonderful people you'll ever hope to meet because they suffered the most outstanding, tragic loss you never want to have. And they said, no, we're going to fill a crack so that maybe somebody else doesn't have to lose a kid. And I don't want to lose a kid. And I don't want you to lose a kid. And I don't mean to be emotional, but I'm still going through what happened here. It's not a revolution. It's time for evolution. We're better than this. If you don't want to hear my videos anymore, I'll know. If you do, tell me. I need to know. I'm listening. If you're listening, let's listen together. Let's listen to the people that need help. And let's figure out how to help them so that they don't ever do this again. If you have an extra dollar or two, please. I don't know about foundations or anything else, but the GoFundMes are important for the people that are suffering horribly from what happened here. I'm not saying 100,000, 10,000, a dollar. A dollar helps because there's a lot of you out there. God bless you, and thanks. Thank you.